Unique is in the kitchen and Unique is eating all of Raquel's ice cream. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. No, that's not a sexual innuendo, that's just the reality of what happened at the end of this episode of Season 4, Episode 6 of Power Book 3. Yep, a lot going on in this episode, so let's actually just dive straight into it. The episode begins with Famous's funeral. I say Famous's funeral, I believe it was only the five, like the Thomas family, the siblings, and then Jukebox and Kanan at the start of this episode, and then we began to see everyone else filter through. Famous's mother, Famous's sister, a few other people. I mean, who killed Famous? You know what? Let's just wrap up the Famous stuff here. I think I didn't even get to put up the poll about Hard or Marvin or anyone like that who's killed him. But I look at it, right, and I think this episode pretty much rules out Raquel and Marvin. There's like no hints at it, and Marvin's wee monologue to like the bartender suggests that he's really got nothing to do with it. So yeah, I think you can rule those two out. So essentially what happens is Kenan's like, right, you know what, my wee midget pal, you've done nothing really but feed me bullshit. 1 minute we've got enough supply, next minute we don't. How can I really trust you with what you're saying about Famous? I tell you what, here's money, I'll get you money if you go and get me information. So 10 minutes or so pass, this guy comes back with information, and the crew that Freddie hung around with is apparently responsible for killing Famous. Now Freddie is the guy that Famous killed in the doorway after he robbed Kanan and Famous. Like, what I think it feels like it might have been last season. Hell, it could have been at the end of season 2. I'm not 100% sure. So Kanan gets this. He does a wee drive-by on them. He scans them out. He's like, fuck, 4-on-1, and they've got guns. Can't do this. Jukebox tells him that she's ready to go down for Famous, so that's good for their problems, I guess. And then what happens is Marvin gives her a bit of a pep talk because he realised that she took his gun without him knowing, and she actually took it for target practice, but now she's actually taking it for realsies. She's taking it to lay some bodies down with Kanan. So they go to the basketball hoops, confront these four. Some of them are greeting, some of them are crying, you name it. Guns are out, guns fired, boom, 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 trying to get them. One of them says that we heard word down by the barber shop that it was a dirty cop that killed Famous. And so that would suggest Hard, right? And Hard did get Famous off with the crime, didn't he, for Kanan? I believe he did. But would Hard really kill Famous? I think it's a bit cheap pinning on Famous, to be honest. I know Hard, like, I mean, it could have been Ronnie. It literally could have been anybody. You know what I mean? It really, really could have been. But I mean, I guess this could ramble on for a few more episodes, but Kanan, he kind of has like the realisation that it might be Hard. I mean, I guess it could be another dirty cop. There is hundreds of them at the end of the day. So he's like, Jukebox, ain't these four, let's leave them alone, let's get out of here before the police show up. So we'll see how that goes. We see Unique this episode making more moves. He meets with Russo. Russo's like, right, I can't kill Stefano, but I can maybe get someone in his crew to do it if we sweeten them up a bit. So Unique then goes, he gets his jewellery, he gets his coat, he gets a haircut, he gets his beard trimmed. He's looking a wee bit more like Unique of old. He then goes and meets with a few people. Holy shit, a bird just flew past me, man. And I mean, it was like fucking 2 seconds away if it cracked me right up the dome. We see Lou almost drink, then not drink. And essentially what he does is he gets back with Famous's sister, but then she leaves for LA and he hugs her goodbye. Why not just fucking go to LA, Lou, man, honestly? Your scenes do nothing for me. His mother's like, well, your brother refused to kill me and I want you to do it. And Lou's like, I'm not afraid of what it would do to you, ma. I'm afraid of what it would do to me. And that's a valid point, you know what I mean? But obviously she's being a bit of a selfish bastard here. Just ask Raquel. I can see her asking Raquel, because she's already asked the other two. Hell, she can maybe ask Kanan, because Kanan's dropped a lot of people in his family, as we know from the future, right? And yeah, so what else happened? Obviously the guy that they're left with, is it Dave? But obviously they killed Marvin, killed Terry, and Raquel's not very happy about the new guy that's in charge. That's another beef going down. Unique's continuing to make moves, making $1 million moves. Stefano, Rack, and meet with the Afghans. They broker a deal. He says some pish. That's why us men are afraid of women in the boardroom, because of shit like this. And it's like, See when this guy says this, or Stefano, this Afghan could be like, well, you know, it's in my culture, we treat them like third class citizens, so how about I fuck this deal, I don't want it. You know what I mean? No, they're not in the boardroom, Stefano, in his culture, because they are, I mean, they couldn't be any further hang away from equals, let's be brutally honest here, you know what I mean? But yeah, they do that at the end of the day. It's probably getting a wee bit windy here, isn't it? And then the episode pretty much just ends with, I mean, the big reveal. Raquel turns home, and we've got 50 Cent narrating, and he's like, I've been through a lot of shit in my time, but a nigga coming back from the dead, that's the scariest shit of them all. And then it just pans up as she turns the lights on. Damn! Holy shit. Unique is alive, we knew it. And it's like, that is a groundbreaking end to the episode. But him and Russo pretty much agreed to the fact that they're not going to kill anyone, wipe anybody out. They're going to do it slow, like the motherfucking Cold War. You guinea pig. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I thought the episode, was actually pretty good. I like the revenge scenes they tried to get for Famous, and it adds like another layer to that about who could potentially have done it. I promise folks, I'm going to put up polls. I forgot to last week, man. It's no good enough. Dropping the ball left, right and centre. I'm like Michael Jordan without any hands, which wouldn't be very good. So yeah, that's brilliant. And then yeah, I mean, I like the Duke and Kanan stuff, and we're learning how to see how Jukebox became such a good shot, and also seeing her and Kanan team up with guns instead of just doing like bogus fucking, hey, do you want to go for a slice of pizza? Is that no weird, by the way? Like, that's like an American thing, isn't it? Where people, you see them just buying a slice of pizza. Like, I know, here on entertainment, there could be people watching this from the UK, but there's a show, Scottish show called Still Game, and there's this miserable guy, which means tight, doesn't like spending his money, for all you Americans. And it's like, they're looking at the price of pizza, and he's like, can you just buy a slice? But he gets like the piss ripped out of him, because like, why the fuck would they sell it by the slice? But in America, they actually do sell it by the slice, so I find that pretty funny, to be brutally honest. Anyway, folks, leave your thoughts down below. I will give this episode, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good episode.